Hi guys, Kim here. The narrow path, a map of navigation. The only way is through, there's no running away, sorry. So what's the narrow path and what does that mean? You know, one of the things that absolutely did my head in for years and years was this depiction in movies where they would have somebody driving along looking at the passenger and not at the road. Even watching it in movies infuriated me, as we were teaching people that it's okay to do that. Absolutely not. Pay attention only to the road whilst driving. So how do I translate this into our reality so the lesson gets integrated into our being? Classic distractions, always bearing in mind that wherever our focus goes, grows. So I see a video about shortages happening all over the world, but then it shifts and it becomes close to home. And I see the video change into shortages happening here in my local supermarket. So I run out to the shops and I stock up on supplies. What exactly am I giving focus to? Fear maybe? The fear of the next time that I want to eat, that the food won't be there for me? So let me reverse for a second. A video pops up in front of me about shortages. I do not click on it. I do not know that there's going to be shortages in my local supermarket. So I give it no focus and instead I just live my life each moment. Which is more likely to experience the shortage? The me that is aware of the shortage and has stocked up because of fear, or the me that never clicked on the video and therefore gave no energy to the matter? Was this video a distraction off my narrow path? Well, from where I sit right now, it was. Because from my perspective, we absolutely have not to give any energy to fear. And as the game is, where your focus goes, grows. Whatsoever you are giving focus to is becoming your game, as fear right now is a very strong attractor factor. It seems to me that our inbuilt creator brings to us that which we fear so we can overcome the fear of it, and then we no longer have to give it any focus, so we can get back on our narrow path. And this type of rotation goes on and on until such time that we can overcome the fear of the imbalance in our perceptions. I really do think that we're living in an illusion, peppered in fears. The news out there in any form is peppered with subject of so many subjects, any of which you may be repulsed by. But what I feel is that if I feel an emotional balanced reaction to whatever it is I'm looking at, that it is the thing that is in the imbalance. So yesterday I saw this thing. It was about a hidden secret document that was released from the White House saying that they were planning to stop all Social Security payments for those that didn't take the thing. Clever ploy, I would say. Make you fear something that's not happened yet by releasing something that may or may not be true in order for you to contemplate the whole fear thing of that occurring, and therefore you giving focus to it and maybe bringing it about into your reality so you can overcome your fear of it. And it's pretty convoluted, eh? Are you seeing a pattern yet? So the narrow path for me is about giving casual glances to that which is placed in front of me in my playground, and then looking at the thing which has not happened yet as a distraction towards me taking my next big step forward on my narrow path. Yes, I admit I get emotionally triggered, and then I do need to clear that, because if we dare to admit that we do not care, then we get slapped down with a label like sociopath. This is hard for me to talk about as I do care. I care deeply. But a great deal of the stuff that is going on, I can do absolutely nothing about in the mirror world that's playing out in front of me. And if I get myself emotionally distracted by it, then I am again placing my energy into a branch of the tree, not the real cause of the problem. It's the imbalance which lays within me. So I capture the thing that's disturbed me, and I place it on the mantelpiece in front of me, and I ask the question, how can I balance this? What am I not seeing? I ask to myself. I might cry, I might sob, but I also ask, why did I need to experience this? Some issues are far more complex than others, and it seems to me that sometimes I'm unable to clear it. But for now, I watched a video yesterday on YouTube called The Streets of Philadelphia, and it deeply disturbed me. I discussed it with a friend who'd also seen it. Those poor kids. I'm not going to link it, as personally I do not like promoting the level deprivation our society's got to. But I would also like you to bear in mind that with this type of thing, this is not any way depicting Philadelphia as a whole, but a small portion of their society, and to some degree, these labels can be hugely damaging when we group together a snapshot of any given place. This is not everyone in Philadelphia, but I know why this video came into my path, and it was because I have a problem with the idea of putting something into a box in order for that box to be used as propaganda to the outside world. And in recent days I've experienced this in my current reality, which is that this propaganda payout that's been played out by the rest of the world by what's happening in Australia. I actually fell out with a dear friend recently over this very issue. My point being is Australia is a big country, and although some may be experiencing the full and brutal force of these draconian measures, it is not Australia that is experiencing this. It is pockets. And this may well be an agenda within itself, as they keep on pushing this idea of what it looks like to be under total control of a new world order. It serves them, not us. It's packaged in a nice little box so others can see and fear their power. I have no denial that this is happening in some parts of Australia, but I do not know anyone personally having this experience, and I live in Australia. When they make statements like Australia has locked down completely and no one is allowed to go out, then that is simply an illusion, and the illusionist is playing his cards so others can fear that if something is not done, then you should fear this, as it could be coming to a town near you very soon. Now this take might offend some people, as it did my friend, and I apologise if it offends you, but this is really only from my perspective, and personally I do not see the solutions being fixed in fixing the external. I think we are all experiencing whatever level of this we're experiencing for a reason. Each person has a different experience according to whatever stage set your soul has chosen for you to learn from. The best way for you to perceive the whatever it is that you need to personally learn. And for me, it is merely breaking down the illusion in every way possible. So I just clicked off this channel that I subbed to, and this message was right in front of me. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change things, you build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. This message exactly expressed where my perspective is going. We are building a new reality, but in order to do this, the old corrupt systems have to go. Not some of them, but all of them. It's the sixth sun. I can see how action-orientated people might have the idea that things are never going to change until we physically take action, by taking the power away from the corrupt people. And maybe that is their reality, and maybe their way, maybe they're right, and I honour them for that. But personally, I'm not in a position whereby I can storm down these corrupt forces and physically beat them into submission. I honour anyone doing anything to change its paradigm, regardless of the means in which they personally feel is the right way or the right action. It's just not my narrow path. Thanks for listening.